Joining me now is John Gilmour, a national security expert, former CSIS counterterrorism analyst as well. Thank you very much, John, for joining us.
It's my pleasure, Roger.
The FBI is saying that they don't think he acted alone. What kind of evidence is indicating that might be the case?
Well, I think there are a number of elements that support that particular theory from the FBI. First of all, did he have experience in bomb making? Was he an expert IED component maker, developer, planner? So, the big question there is, did he get assistance in making the IEDs, or did he get them the instructions off the internet? So that's the first one. The second bit of evidence is probably the suggestion that there are a number of IEDs dispersed around the city. And that, on its own may suggest that he may have had some assistance there as well from other individuals. And of course, they'll want to check to see what his affiliations were, or what his close associations were with individuals in Texas as well. So there are a number of elements there that suggest he didn't act alone, as opposed to the more recent attack in Germany that occurred last month.
And what makes this unusual? If he has a connection, they say an ISIS flag was found at his car. He's a former U.S. military. He's an American citizen. How does that all tie together? How do you bring somebody who's a former U.S. military and an American citizen into a situation where he's carrying an ISIS flag?
Well, radicalization there's no cookie cutter approach to that. He may have a number of reasons or motivations why he undertook what he did. They'll be looking at his computer, they'll be looking at his phone records, they'll be talking to known associates to find out what may have motivated him to the degree that they did today. But as I said, there's no cookie cutter approach to how an individual becomes radicalized, whether it was online, whether it was through affiliation with like-minded individuals. He may have felt, stigmatized in some fashion, institutionally, whether it was from the military or another government organization or anything along those lines. But the bottom line here is that there is no magic bullet or silver bullet or cookie cutter approach to why an individual becomes radicalized. This will be another element of the ongoing investigation that will be undertaken by law enforcement, and I'm probably assuming military police as well.
And with the radicalization, is that happening in the country, or can that happen from outside?
Well, it depends. Radicalization occur in a number of areas. If you're getting it online, it could be from domestic sources. It could be from international sources. One of the things that they're going to be looking at as part of their investigation is the degree that Mr. Jabbar had with ISIS, whether he was radicalized merely looking at their mantras, looking at their narratives online, or whether he had actually direct contact with ISIS as an organization. That's one of the things they'll be looking at. I would suggest probably in most cases at this time, the individual would have been self-radicalized as opposed to being in direct contact with ISIL. But who knows in this particular case? I would suggest probably in this situation, he was self-radicalized, whether it was through online sources or whether it was joining a community of like-minded individuals. That too will remain to be seen as part of the investigation.
And one last question before we go. That area is Bourbon Street. They have those barricades, and apparently the barricades either were not functioning or not working. That's a major failure from the security point of view, isn't it?
Yeah, and well, it's depending on who you listen to, they were either in the process of getting replaced, some were replaced, some were not replaced. But I think certainly the local police from New Orleans were heightened to the concerns that the kind of attack that occurred might take place based on the attack that took place in Germany last month, where we had another individual who ran a vehicle into the marketplace in Germany with the same kind of results. So they would have been alerted to that particular issue.
Okay. John, thank you very much for joining us with your expertise. We appreciate it. I think we may have lost you there.